Hello, folks. Hope you're doing well today. It's Saturday morning here. I'm having some coffee and I'm about to do my first session of the pancake stretch in over a year. So, this is going to be a series that I'm going to be filming for you guys because I would like to improve upon the pancake stretch. Basically, in order to, one, of course, improve my flexibility and mobility, but two, because it will help me get back the straddle press to handstand, which I lost when I sprained my wrist over a year ago now and couldn't practice handstands for almost a whole year. So I thought it'd be interesting to bring you guys along with this journey here and demonstrate how I actually stretch and how easy and simple it can be, even though it is a long process. There's no real shortcut. You do have to continuously put in some effort throughout the week, over time, for many, many weeks and many, many months in order to really see real progress. But it doesn't have to be this super, super monumental thing. You really just need to spend a few minutes stretching a few times a week, and that's kind of enough. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that, and you can see how I progress over time. So the first step today is, again, I'm just getting back into this stretch, and I literally haven't practiced it, I think, in over a year. And so I'm going to first sort of take a baseline, sort of warm up into it a little bit and sort of see where I'm at. How far is it? I expect I'll be able to hit either my forehead or my nose to the floor, but I'm not quite sure. So we'll see where I'm at, and then of course that will determine where I have to go. So over this series, you'll see a lot more of the various different techniques I'm going to be using, and you can see how I sort of vary from session to session as the journey progresses. But for today, really, it's just testing where I'm at now, getting a baseline, and getting back into the stretch. So I'm not going to be going as high intensity as I will in subsequent sessions. Might be working up to like a 6 or a 7 out of 10 stretch feeling. So nothing that hard at all, because again, it's not about doing the most work possible in one session. It's about having a sustainable path to be able to continue to acquire lots of quality work over months, right? So yeah, with that said, let's get into it. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So just getting into the position here, and I can already feel, even just right here, I'm a bit tight in the right hamstring or adductor there, I reckon. Ooh, very, very tight indeed. So just slowly rocking into it, trying to get a bit deeper. When do you guys like to stretch? Do you like to do it in the morning on a day off? Do you like to do it in the evening while you watch TV? Do you like to do it over lunchtime? Take little micro breaks from work? Personally, most of my stretching I do after I go on runs. Today, I didn't go on a run, but I did do a bit of a leg day, so I just felt like it'd be a good idea to start stretching afterwards. And I want to get the work in. So now I'll rest for a little bit, but one of the ways you can measure your progress in the pancake stretch, you could obviously measure the distance of like your head to the floor using a ruler or something like that, but it's often more practical to just take measurements using body parts. So, the very beginner level would just be sort of sitting with your legs wide and, balancing, because if you're an absolute beginner at this, you probably won't even be able to sit all the way up. I can sit all the way up, so I can start measuring other things. So I can see, okay, I can touch my elbow with a fist. And then you can start going down gradually and measuring with your fingers and measure your progress. Okay, all of those are achievable. I can get both elbows on the ground. That's great. I know that I can go a little bit farther because I'm not really feeling much of a stretch in there. A little bit in the low back, but it's not bad. So then we just work to stacking hands. So we see, okay, we have one fist, two fist, and a thumb up. Okay, I can hit my forehead there, no problem. So after that, we go down to the thumb down. Yep, I can hit that as well. And just slowly going deeper and deeper. And eventually at the end of this session we'll see how far I get, and that will be my measurement for today. And of course, those measurements are relative to my own body, but that's all that matters. Again, with stretching, with lifting, with anything, it's not about comparing yourself to other people. I mean, I guess that's important, when you're competing in sports or whatever, or if you're literally competing for your lifts or for your flexibility, although I don't know if there are many people who compete for their flexibility. But, it's about comparing yourself to your previous self a month ago or last session and seeing if you are progressing and if you're moving in the right direction. So again, relative measures, which are easy to measure. This is the name of the game here. Okay, I'm going to take this out because the microphone is hitting my mouth. That at that point is feeling like a pretty decent stretch, actually. I suspect I can push a little bit deeper. So I can pulse into that, but I'm having trouble actually like holding it. I don't really have control over that range of motion. No, okay. So I think, yeah. So I think 3 fingers from the floor, forehead, 3 fingers to the floor is about as far as I'm going to get today. I can tell that's starting to, I'm feeling that in the low back. I'm feeling that in the hip adductors. It feels like a nice stretch, but again, this is just my very first session working on this in years. So I'm going to take it real easy. Great. So I'm just going to stretch out the legs a tiny bit. Oh, get out of the position, wiggle around a little bit, and then do one more repetition, trying to work down to that depth and see if I can just control it a tiny bit. So I'm not trying to actually get deeper, but at that point I was using a little bit of momentum to sort of pulse into my deepest position. I'm just going to see if I can hold it a little bit. And either way, that will be the work done, and we'll rest up a few days and then come back and hit it again in a few days. Oh. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Starting to feel it even more in through the side of the adductors down into the knees, as well as the low back there. I was able to control a little bit, which means I'm doing a little bit of work towards building strength and control and relaxing the sort of neuromuscular control of the muscles, which will, over the long run, allow me to get deeper. All right, that's all for today, folks. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next one. If you're interested in deepening your flexibility practice, I have a flexibility course called Finding Flexibility, which is coming out soon. The link for the waitlist or the actual program, depending on when you watch this, is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Let's get strong for life, and let's get flexible together.